5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay.
Hey, Ryan, I got a question for you.
Alright.
Yep.
What's the first thing you do when you go to sleep?
What did I sleep?
Yeah, what's the first thing you do when you go to sleep?
Sleep.
Wrong, you wake up, just like Link is doing right now.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Alright, so anyway, this is Link's Awakening Deluxe, the Game Boy Color remake of the original Link's Awakening from the original Game Boy. The category I'm running is 80%, no wrong warp, no out of bounds, and no save and quit, which are 3 major restrictions that make up this entire run. Wrong warping is essentially no wrong warp means that every place has to go to the game to wherever the game is supposed to take us, and then no out of bounds means I have to always be walking on every accessible tile by normal means of gameplay. And no save and quit is every time I save and quit, then I'll respawn at the last place that I entered, which does save time, but not saving and quitting is, in my opinion, more exciting because you get to see more of the overworld.
Get to do a lot of backtracking.
Lots of walking. It's so exciting.
Very exciting. Anyway, so
Getting our cardio in.
So we got our sword, and now we're gonna go straight to Mysterious Woods, and we're going to go ahead and get the first dungeon key. Coming up really quickly is going to be our first major sequence break. So in the woods, you're supposed to grab a toadstool and then go out of the forest to convert it into magic powder. But there is a small sequence break that we can do, a major sequence break that we can do to skip all that. So, would you guys like to talk about that?
We'll do it once you actually get to the screen, because it's easier to explain.
Okay.
But first, little walk through the woods. We're gonna hop inside this log cave here, and using some nice positioning, we're gonna, get some money. Because who likes having money? All of us do.
Yeah, that's like a 2-pixel window, I think, to hit the crystal on the right. Alright, so here comes Moblin skip, or Moblin boost, sorry. And yeah, basically we're trying to push the Moblin along against the wall and have it in certain. And you want to damage boost to get across the pit.
Okay,
basically.
there we go.
Alright, I'll see it after the stream delay is done. Yeah, it sounds like it didn't take too long to get it, so...
That was third try, so that could have been a lot worse.
Yeah,
but
not the worst.
yeah, immediately after, I did another trick called Owl Skip, where if you open the chest and open the save menu in the same frame that you open the chest, then then you'll go far enough to where the owl will not talk to you by the time you leave the screen. The side effect, though, is I have to make sure I don't enter that screen ever again, otherwise the owl will be there.
Yep. And then he'll come and talk to you, basically.
But it's not like we need to go onto that screen anymore, anyways. We just go around it.
Yeah, the scenic route.
First thing we're gonna do with our money is gamble.
So the training game.
How much? You putting 10 rupees down that we'll get that magic powder? What do you think, Ryan?
I think you'll get it.
Yeah.
Ain't that hard.
Did you know that I just got it first try? That's so difficult.
It's like it's the same every single time in this version of the game and the previous version of the game. Oh no, man.
Alright, so now we're gonna go
Playing
shopping.
the market here.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a very good visual setup to make it really consistent. Or there's at least like 2 visual setups you can do. So
Is that like card counting?
Oh my god, guys, I just died. Runs over.
so bad
Well,
at this
you
game.
should. You stole.
Oh, should have given a flashing lights warning there. Too.
So how much time did I lose?
Nothing, because that was intentional.
Oh. Shit.
Yeah, so
Just said like
we don't
5
want
minutes.
to. We don't want to
What?
get like all that money to buy the shovel, so and the bow, so we just steal it.
We also bought a couple bombs, which are going to be used for some tricks later on.
Yep.
All right, so
save quit menu to quick buy it.
So now we're actually gonna go straight to first dungeon now, and while I make my way to the first dungeon, I'm actually gonna go slightly out of my way to kill some enemies, and that is because I'm trying to manipulate a special power-up exclusive to this game called the Piece of Power. So essentially, if you kill 30 enemies, then you get a power-up drop called the Piece of Power, which allows us to do double damage, and as well as have a small speed boost throughout some of the dungeons. There's a few places where that extra speed boost and the extra power is going to be very useful. So throughout the whole run from here on out, I'm keeping track of my kill count to make sure that Piece of Power drops at the appropriate time.
Yeah, and to add on to that, there's also the Guardian Acorn that drops. I think it's every 12 kills if you don't get hit by an enemy.
Yes.
But when it drops, it doesn't count towards the Piece of Power count. So you have to also be careful with that.
Yeah, it's gonna be very hard to actually count kills later for a specific round toothy reason.
Yeah.
Best boy.
Man's best friend.
So now we just got the item of the dungeon called the Rock's Feather. It's a very important item because it allows us to jump. It's super important.
So broken.
But jumping isn't that cool. I mean, you could do it in plenty of other Zelda games.
I'm trying to think of how many there.
Everything after this one. I'm
Yeah,
not
that's true.
exaggerating.
Oh yeah, that's true. Actually, shoot.
So that was a neat little trick called the Super Jump. Would you guys like to talk about that?
Okay. Oh man, I'm just seeing it right now. So if you're clipped into a wall with a ledge that has that looks like that you're able to jump. That Link is able to jump off of it normally, coming down it. Then when you jump and use either your sword, bow, or magic rod, then Link will jump off of the jumpable ledge when he's clipped into the wall. That's doing a super jump.
All walls in dungeons are
Oh my god.
So, you know, save points. And on top of that, you can also do what's called a naked super jump, which is some very precise movements. Ooh, the worm's not happy.
Yeah, so if you fall in, if you buffer up and jump, you'll jump back out of that dungeon instead of having to navigate back up and come to refight.
Yeah, so this is Moldorm. You've seen him recently. It takes 4 hits to kill him in this game, and it's honestly the hardest boss in this game.
Easily the hardest boss in this game.
Because it's random, yeah.
Yeah, you can be risky and try to kill him with 2 spin slashes, but it's really hard, and sometimes it might just waste more time because of you trying to evade him as well.
Might just fall.
Yeah, you might plank off of him and get knocked off. So that's the first instrument that we got. We need all 8 of them to be able to open the Windfish egg. Basically to beat the game in normal categories, I guess. So
the ones that don't completely break the game over sneak.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so also grabbing more kills still for the piece of power routing. Ideally, Mchan would like to get it inside of the start of Dungeon 2.
Yep.
And also, a piece of power counts, they reset if you save and quit, so because this is a no save quit category, that's why it's viable to be able to route piece of power into this.
It's also it also resets if you die. So if I would have been in big trouble if I died in Moldorm.
Yeah. It's like would be a reset, but marathon. All right, so you're mobbing. I reset 7 times in my run. Alright, so yeah, the Moblin King. So Bow Wow was captured, and yeah, basically you have to go by the Moblins, so we have to go into Moblin's cave to defeat them and save best boy,
But what's
Dan's
about
best friend.
Well, we didn't save him because we're not taking him back home.
You get to keep
what
him
is-
forever,
it's,
basically.
it's a regular dog, right?
It's a spherical dog, I guess.
No. It's a perfectly normal dog. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and so Mchan performed a trick called the flock clip, where you objects that give you a text, like rocks. If you're clipped into a wall, it will move Link a few pixels in the direction that he's holding. So he clipped into the tree and walked into the rock and held up and left, and it pushed him a little that it flipped him through the tree, thus not needing the power bracelet to lift that rock. Here's the piece of power drop.
But there's not much to talk about in D2, in Bottle Grotto. So one thing I guess to talk about is there's actually a different early game route that you can do where you can grab the toadstool. But I chose not to do that route for, well, 2 reasons. 1, you can crash the game if you do that route incorrectly, and 2, the early game kill route is a lot more precise. You have to go more out of your way to kill more enemies. And I personally don't prefer it, so I just do the more consistent method, the consistent kill route here.
What are you talking about? Nobody crashes the game on Mushroom. Mushroom
That one-
is easy.
That
Everyone crashes
few
the game on
days,
Piece of Power.
a few days where I was complaining about the mushroom. The mushroom
Mushroom
hunter.
is free. Just don't open the menu at the same time as the text box.
Yeah, I found out what I was doing wrong, but it was annoying going through the growing pains of crashing.
Oh my
the game.
goodness!
All right, so the 3 enemy room. So you need to kill the holes. Oh. All right, I see what happened.
Voice, Keys, and Stalfos in that order. Unfortunately, if you do it wrong, you gotta reset the room.
Yeah, and you have to reset it through the stairs, otherwise the enemies won't be back.
Of course, that's required to get the key for this dungeon.
Yeah, nightmare key, so gives you access to the boss.
This
So,
affects my kill count, so I actually have to purposely avoid an enemy that I normally kill later on.
Here, just don't kill the
gotcha.
genie, it'll be fine.
If there's anything that you make Bow Wow eat on purpose, I guess you can skip that.
Hope you skip it. Watch as the dog screws up everything. Eats everything along the way.
Classic. After D3, so many times been like 1 or 2 kills over, and then the piece of power just drops like in the water or something like that.
We should also point out the sheer power of bombs and arrows. And bomb
Indeed.
arrows.
A lot of casual players didn't know you can use bomb arrows as a combination to shoot them. But yeah, you can kill the genie with two bombs. So right after the first bomb explodes, you shoot a bomb arrow as it's getting pushed towards you, so that you can kill him in 1 cycle instead of having to hit him a bunch of times with your sword.
I mean, but he's invincible, right? As long as he has his bottle? I don't think the genies know about explosiveness.
Nice.
Oh, gee. Okay, assuming that you're about to skip the heart piece of shame. Yeah.
Very
There
nice.
it is.
This run's valid.
Not yet, it isn't. Don't you start trying to make things that aren't the validators validators. You know exactly what you need to do.
I will submit this run to speedrun.com.
Still a lot of trials for you to go through.
Don't you go getting ideas about validity until after you do it twice.
Alright, blow up the Skull Rock, and coming up is what, Villa Skip. So it is based on frame rules. Okay, Matt, you can explain this one.
Yeah, so basically we're just gonna jump over to this pit, and then as we fall into it, we're gonna pause. A lot. Until we hear the sound of us falling.
Yeah, so that frame will push you down a few pixels.
And it turns out that there's solid tiles underneath the menu, which is great. because we can stand on those and then transition down. And
Exactly.
when we transition down, because there's stuff blocking us from walking, we just fall until we reach a tile that we can stand on.
Yep. It's not out of bounds either.
No, it's completely legit, because we can stand on all these tiles.
This
And then
is
we
the
just
big
do
this is the
same
biggest
thing.
sequence break in the game because it allows us to skip very lengthy side quests. Candlelit Castle. Sorry, Alpha 5.
Most of the trade quests, Candlelit Castle. Yep.
I would argue that 2 other things are just as big, if not bigger.
It's pretty huge though.
Boy, Ghost and Rooster are pretty sizable.
Yep. So,
And
Bottle Grotto.
in fact, skipping the ocarina itself is pretty huge too.
Okay, nice. Normally I kill both those Stalfos, but but because I did kill an extra enemy in Battle Grotto, I'm gonna go ahead and kill only one of them. Hopefully I'm back on track.
Yeah, so ideally, like the next 2 rooms, at least from where I'm seeing, should probably get a piece of power drop.
Alright, I'm on track now.
Okay, nice.
The mighty Dorito.
Pizza power.
We're playing
Alright,
Teenage
so-
Mutant Ninja Turtles.
The dongle skip. So if you quickly do a super jump when you enter that room, and let go and do a spin slash, then you clink off of the dodongo and get pushed over the block, so that you can skip getting a key. Bottle Grotto, like the gimmick for this dungeon is that you're supposed to get a bunch of keys and then unlock them all.
It's called Key Cavern.
Or sorry, Key Cavern, not Bottle Grotto. Bottle Grotto is the last dungeon. No French press. I see how it is enchanted.
I'm not very consistent with it.
You still gotta try for the content, man. For the content.
Hey man, I'm already a minute behind.
I don't care about your minutes. I want to see content.
It's all the more reason to go for it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're on PB pace, I wouldn't have blamed you.
There is nothing to live for once your splits are red. Throw everything into the content, guys.
Yeah, so starting out running this game, the Dodongo skip, those 2 times that you have to do it is, it's a pretty big wall for a lot of new runners. Because, if you're too slow, you can soft lock in the block. And in this category, you can't save and quit, so your run is, like, basically dead if that happens.
At least if you fail it and not soft block yourself, there's a way to reset the room so you can try it again.
Exactly.
And if you do it right, it'll work every time.
Exactly.
Hard sometimes, but that was Slime Eye. Fight him normally, use the boots, slash. Because we have the piece of power, we kill the eyes very quickly,
Yep.
adding us an instrument. And now we have to listen to this dumb owl again.
You know how it is. Owl in most Zelda games. Or
It's
some
not
equivalent
realistic.
of
Owls just fly away whenever a person comes near. Don't chew endlessly. And now, because we have the boots, our overworld movement is going to be pretty sweet. Just
Yeah,
running along.
Yeah, your dash is twice as fast as your normal walk.
And you can actually move while you're setting up your dash, unlike in Link to the Past.
Yeah, so you can like take corners as you're like charging it up, and then start dashing immediately as you pass the corner. So heading over to Armless Maze, which actually is the access to get to Dungeon 6, even though Mchan just beat Dungeon 3.
Yeah, we know how to count in this community.
So you're gonna so Ryan, how am I gonna get to this next dungeon when I can't even swim?
Hey,
Yeah, so they're-
never revealed their secrets.
Okay, wait. I'm gonna have you guys hold that thought because I need to rely on an audio cue real quick.
Oh, gotcha.
All right, we're good.
Alright, nice.
So Ryan, how am I going to
the
get to the
Armless-
next dungeon?
We gotta talk about
Okay.
Armless Knight first, man. There's an order to these things. Take it easy.
It's fine. It looked like a standard Armos Knight fight, like standard 2 cycle. Alright, so how we're gonna get to Dungeon 6 without swimming in the water that we need to get through. So there's a trick called Jesus jumping. So most actions need two consecutive frames for you to for it to happen. Including falling into the pit. That's how you can do the Villa skip that he did. So drowning has its same principle, and if you pause on that frame, Link will be standing on a tile. Be technically standing on the water, so he's able to transition down the screen, being on that solid tile right at the transition. You can also jump again with the feather, for that one frame as well. So, which we might see later in the run, doing consecutive Jesus jumps as well. And assuming that you're about to
there was a cutscene skip right there. I don't know how to explain that actually.
Well, no, it's easy. Cutscenes are triggered by entities, and if you bomb that entity, it puts it in a place where Bow Wow can eat it because he's a freak in nature. So if the entity that triggers the cutscene gets eaten, well, the cutscene can't trigger, can it?
Yep. And yeah, the worst feeling is when a piece of power drops from Bow Wow eating that cutscene.
What do you mean? I love it when that happens.
Oof, got a really far away piece of power drop. Just saw.
So this room, despite the fact that it may look like you need Feather to clear it, you don't need it. You can just hold up to the left the entire time.
Yep. It's good for this category to click Feather because you don't want to get hit by those sparky things underground. And if you have bad RNG, they can get in your way and hit you.
All 3 times.
So, yeah, sometimes you can get hit 3 times.
Which is the amount of hits it takes to lose your power up in this game. So when you run this category, you kind of learn how to consistently dodge everything in order to keep your piece of power for as long as you want.
Exactly, like this tile room that he's in.
Hey, just break everything first.
So, I think you're not going to use bombs to blow up the last tile, right?
Nice.
Alright, never mind. I saw it. Oh yeah, this part becomes a little more annoying with the Wizrobes because the piece of power gives an extra knockback effect when you hit enemies as well. So if you hit too soon, then the Wizrobe that he knocked into the bomb can fly past it and not get hit.
Which means an expenditure of more bombs and maybe even an arrow in order to kill it.
Exactly, and it's slow.
Those are precious resources that we can't afford to lose either.
Yeah, because the any percent categories, you don't have like too many bombs to work with in an ideal route.
Well, bomb management is actually pretty lenient, your arrow management is somewhat precise.
Yeah, if you do a safe route, you can have a ton of arrows left over. But if you want to kill stuff a little bit faster, then usually if you're going for top times, you're gonna expend a lot of arrows.
Yeah, if you go for the most optimal, and same thing with bombs, if you go for the most optimal bomb route, then your bomb route is actually really tight.
Yeah, exactly. With the current routing I do, I think I have like 1 bomb left usually at the end. Or sometimes it might be 2. So that was what, like 4 try-horse heads, I think?
I think so.
Wasn't fully counted. So basically it's 2 50-50s in a row that you need, so more or less a 1 in 4 chance for you to get the bolt standing upright to open the door.
Yeah, very cool dungeon to grind out for that reason.
Yeah, sometimes you'll get first try, sometimes you can get like 30.
That's XCOM, baby.
Most I personally had was 20, so I haven't gotten that bad yet.
There exists legends.
So, this is Facade, and Facade's a really cool boss. You just place bombs down, and then you blow up the space a bunch of times, and then you win.
It's important to mention that his hitbox exists before it actually shows up. Before the text box. So if you can bomb him 3 times really quickly at the beginning, and that's 3 free hits.
Yeah,
Where you
and
don't
he
have
has
to
only
worry about
5 health.
anything.
Exactly.
Okay, so coming up is probably like the scariest part of this run, and this will probably be probably the only time of the run where I call focus time, or serious time, because I have to do a bunch of Jesus jumps consecutively. So
5 Jesus.
here we go.
All right, good luck.
Got a frame perfect one right there. That's good. Well, I got the guy out of the way.
I see. Yeah, that jerk. Oh, did you try to skip some frames? When he drowned? When he drowned? I mean.
Okay, we're good.
Oh crap! You weren't done yet. My bad.
That's fine.
Yeah, it was looking really good. Like, just had like the hiccup at the very end, but
Yeah.
So it's important to note that part of the rules for out of bounds means you can't transition on a solid tile. If you're too low when you're getting off that first screen below the entrance to D6, you can in fact clip into that tile and transition on it, which means you are disqualified.
yep. So yeah, you got to make sure that you jump up a little higher on at least one of your Jesus jumps on the first screen. All right, so here comes Walrus Skip.
Should be good.
So it's looking like it. So bomb triggers. I guess we haven't talked about that yet.
Yeah, so
I'll let
just,
Matt take that one.
You just place 2 bombs on consecutive frames, and it causes things to happen. Now, the hard part about this is that you can't have more than 2 bombs on a screen at any time. However, we can do that on transition or in pits in order to trick the game into causing the actors to actually do stuff. The problem with it in this circumstance is that we just skipped the cutscene, which means that we couldn't use any buttons except for our directions. We either have to die, or we go into an entrance.
Yeah, changing
Which allows-
subnets.
Yeah.
So like walking into a cave or something like that. We'll change it.
Other categories choose a more prickly option to deal with this.
Definitely hug a cactus for death. Cool.
Very rarely in games you hear optimal death strategies, but that's definitely the case in some categories for this game.
Yeah, there's a few other Zelda games where you gotta die on purpose.
Yeah,
Go
but how
fast.
often do you die quickly?
True. Yeah, so so there wasn't anything in that pit where he shot arrows into and got a key.
Yeah,
No, you
no.
just sacrificed arrows to the pit god and it gave you a key.
I mean, somebody was talking in there. I don't know who.
Link was talking to himself, and then
Oh,
It was Bow Wow, obviously. Come on. No, it was the owl. The owl did it.
oh, that makes sense actually. I can't even read it because it's in Japanese, so I had no idea who was talking.
Alright, so this is very important. You definitely do not want to forget about opening up Angler Tunnel at all, otherwise you lose a lot of time.
Yeah, having to go all the way back is. It's pretty funny when it happens, but also
Yeah.
like, really upsetting. I've done that once.
It's not that bad. It's not that
Was that-
bad.
One run where I forgot to get the key entirely, and I was like, that's funny.
Oh, the key entirely? Oh man.
Yeah, so
time.
the lock-in was just like, well, time to reset, I guess.
Oh man.
Look, it's only a half an hour of your life down the drain. It's fine.
Yeah, it's not the worst.
Yeah,
Not the
because we finished Dungeon 6, this owl is here now.
Yep.
Alright, so
Let's
we
see
have
if
a
we can
dumb
play
trick
the-
coming up.
Oh, don't you start.
Yeah, I
Wait.
said it.
What?
Yeah, and you're not gonna say anything else about it, because now we're gonna talk about the validation trick. The actual validation trick, not
Oh, wait, that's not good.
other things.
Uh-oh.
Hey!
Let's call this a dumb trick? Oh no.
Yeah, he did. Shame. Shame.
Disappointed, Mchan.
So that's obstacle skip. You save, what is it, like,
You save a quarter of a second each time you go for it, and because we go for it twice, it saves half a second total.
which means it's worth it.
Yeah, depending on which resource you watch, there's three. It saves 3 different amount of times for doing the same trick.
Mm-hmm.
One video says it saves 10 frames, another says quarter second, and another says half second.
And it's not optimal to avoid it, because that means you have to move further down on the
I know.
first street.
And not doing swag strats like 2021. Come on.
It's for the content, man. All hail the content.
All right, so there's this cross jump in Dungeon 4 to skip a large amount of the dungeon.
Oh my gosh.
The devs
Combined
don't
with-
really think about things, do they?
Combined with Jesus jumping in this water. Which same thing as when he did the 5 Jesus jumps. If you are too low, you can end up out of bounds on the screen transition and invalidate your run. So he opted to go from the bottom side and jump up. So making sure he doesn't go out of bounds.
So that Jesus jump skips having to fight the mini boss, Cue Ball, which is a painful boss. Don't fight him.
It's not that bad. You just pin him in a corner.
Skip him at all costs, please.
Yeah, please.
I don't like what these kids are saying. Back in my day.
Because of your equips, I thought you were going for the harder P hat clink, and I was like, oh man, everybody's putting me to shame with that.
It's a hard trick to learn, man.
Yeah, it is pretty hard. But coming up is the hardest boss in the game.
Oh, here we go.
Molder him in water?
Yes! I did it! Oh my god.
Missing them.
I think I need a towel for that.
Well, I mean, you're underwater. It's not going to do you much good.
As long as you don't try to hook shot downwards.
Oh
What's
no.
hookshot?
I'm sorry,
Don't be
Carbone.
spoiling things. Hookshots don't exist yet. Everything's a figment of our imagination until we get it. These
Well, yeah.
instruments don't exist.
Well, yeah, I didn't mention about why we went to Dungeon 6 so early. One of the reasons was to get the level 2 bracelet, because normally after you beat Dungeon 4, when you're south of a certain amount of screens, then a ghost will appear and follow you around, and you can't enter any dungeons until you help him in that side quest. But if you have the level 2 bracelet, then he doesn't appear after you beat Dungeon 4.
Yeah,
So
and yeah,
saves
that
a ton of-
saves like 3. It saves like 3 minutes. It's pretty huge.
Yep. So I think like every category except for 100% doesn't skips the ghost basically.
Yeah, he just doesn't exist. Therefore, I guess he's at peace.
Yeah, kind of an odd
Everything's
check
fine.
right there.
Indeed. So after beating Dungeon 6, then 4, now we're going to 5.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 6, 4, 5. That's counting, right? We finished elementary school, right?
Yep. And there should be a piece of power drop at the start of this dungeon. Assuming the kill count is fine still.
Look, if we can count enough to get piece of power, just like that, it's fine. We
And there-
passed.
Yeah, so a piece of power again, I think it's like generally accepted that this is like the hardest piece of power to keep throughout the whole dungeon.
This is also the piece of power that saves the most time because you do a lot of walking around, and this is a very long dungeon.
Yes,
Exactly.
because we choose not to save and quit, we have to cover so much ground in this dungeon.
Tons and tons of backtracking
Mm-hmm.
instead of saving quitting.
So, do you guys want to talk about the overkill that I'm about to do coming up?
Okay, so okay, go ahead.
Yeah, using the power of explosives, we are going to absolutely just murder the skeleton.
Normally after
That's it.
3 hits, he's supposed to run away, and the fight just ends. But since you can shoot bomb arrows fast enough to get 4 bombs in, then you basically overkill him, and he when he dies, he actually drops a key. Despite I think it's not intentional for him to die here.
It's important
Oh, God.
that he drops a key, because that explains something else.
Yeah, and he drops a key for every Master Staff boss fight except for the very last one. But it's more convenient to do it in the first one.
Too.
Yeah. But it's more convenient to do on the first one.
Yeah, exactly. And then the mini boss music keeps playing until you change submaps again.
Yeah.
Alright, so getting the bombs on the side, because again, bomb routing is like somewhat tight, so need to grab pickups every now and then. And,
I think I have enough bombs to skip the D8 pickup later on. More into that later.
Oh yeah, I forgot that. Oh yeah, the backup is always an option. I forgot. But optimally, don't want to get it.
Okay, so I took too many hits, so I have to I have to go around these bloopers now. Oh, never mind.
Ouch.
Well, to be fair, we wanted to lose the piece of power in this dungeon before.
It's too early.
Anyway. Nonsense.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. Near the. It does, in my opinion, it makes this this jump easier.
Yeah, I actually would have gone for a setupless jump right there because it's a lot because you have a wider frame window to do setupless, but I had to resort to that.
Oh, you like setupless without the piece of power?
Yeah,
with piece of power?
Yeah, with piece of power setupless is a lot easier.
Oh damn, I find it way harder.
Now remember, because we're choosing not to save and quit, we have to walk all the way back to the beginning of the dungeon.
Yeah. So again, hence why like having piece of power like saves a lot of time. Additionally, being able to kill these helmet swords in one hit with the piece of power,
yeah,
helps a lot in the early part of the dungeon. But once he kills Master Stalfos 4 and gets his item, then those guys will be trivial.
Yeah,
instead of trying to hit them from the back.
We're going to absolutely rinse this guy with bombs, just like Snake did. And gonna drop a key. But in this room, all the keys are scripted to become hookshots.
Yep. So after killing Master Stalfos 4, then yeah, he drops the hookshot that he stole from a chest that it was supposed to be in.
Now it's important now that hookshot is on B, because if it's on B, it actually does some stuff. Interesting.
Yeah,
it takes priority.
Yeah, well, A button takes priority, but because B inputs later, then you get the jump from the A button first.
Yep. So right here, I'm about to do something called bookshot. There we go. It just allows you to just hookshot really fast.
It is zip.
Yep.
And now,
pressing both on same frame.
So I mentioned Snake earlier, right?
No.
Now here's Wall Snake. Snake's little known fourth brother.
So yeah, this boss is why you want to lose the piece of power at some point before you reach here.
This one requires you to hit it, what, 8 times? And knockback. The knockback that you get from piece of power gives you invincibility, which sucks.
Yep.
And makes it harder to land 5, 3, 4, 4. So you might have to get a 3rd cycle, which means that it can pop out and explode.
Yeah, it might give you fakes. I don't know what the chance is for it to give you fakes, but it could
50-50, I want to guess.
I just
hazard a guess because it's 100% every time.
I didn't get it in the rando race today. I had a 3 cycle.
Alright, so now that we're done with Dungeon 5, because we can totally count, where do you think we should go next?
Dungeon 9?
No, that's silly. Dungeon
Oh
0?
man, the scenic route.
Dungeon 0. What are we doing? 100%? What is this?
No, that's your job.
See y'all tomorrow. Or later
You're
later
right.
this morning, I guess. So yeah, on the way to...
7 hours.
Yep. Basically on the way to Dungeon 7 currently.
Yeah.
First, a pretty annoying trick coming up that can often be a run killer is Rooster Skip.
Oh, you hate to see it.
Oh, and it makes it worse having Bow Wow with you, because sometimes you're just actually screwed because Bow Wow decides.
This
So,
is,
All right.
time we passed.
Dumb trick number 2 coming up.
Will this run be valid?
No, because he called it dumb. I'm calling that shot right now.
Now it just doesn't count, even if you
But the
get
whole thing doesn't count because he can't respect anything.
Too low?
it. Mchan, come on.
Okay, there we go.
I also suck at doing it. Like going too low or falling into the
Save
same.
time and it's dumb.
I'm known for not doing it at all.
But you did it, which means you accepted the rules and responsibilities of it. Therefore, you gotta respect it.
If my position's
Okay.
too low, then I'm not gonna fix it.
Okay, here we go.
Alright. Alright, I'll let you focus first.
I don't even know how that happened, but so that sucks.
Oh yeah, you went
Yeah,
too far to
damn
the
it.
left.
Oh, yeah. Damn, just saw it.
So, you can hook shot before you fall, and if you get it to a very certain position where it's touching Link's nose, you can buffer an input out of your map, which lets you jump. Which means you
Yep.
can basically jump on air.
Yeah, so basically
This-
4 frames after that, where he does the map buffer, then he can jump on that particular frame.
It's very convenient that this game has frame-perfect buffers
Yes.
and menu buffers.
Yep. And then map buffers advance the game by 4 frames as well. So you can use the combination of the two to do probably the best buffering system in any Zelda game.
What, do you mean you don't like hearing the
Well,
sounds for-
it can be comparable with
Uh,
Twilight Princess HD actually.
Oh, true.
Yeah, Twilight Princess HD has frame perfect buffering as well.
Nice. Alright, so I've got a comparable one at least.
Yeah.
But can
Instead
you
of having
buffer
to
buffer?
manually time it Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask and stuff like that. So yeah, so you can do that rooster skip with the hookshot jumps unbuffered, but getting 2 frame perfect jumps is definitely tough, and you probably only have a limited number of tries because you can still keep shooting the hookshot in the air as long as you don't fall into the pit right away.
But double
But
first,
eventually you'll fall.
Yeah, basically, if you're not directly on the center tile of the pit, then you will not fall down. Which is what makes Rooster Skip work. Nice.
Exactly, because Link sort of gets dragged into it gradually and then falls in afterwards. Alright, nice. We can battle eat that cutscene.
Now this tower has a door.
So this dungeon is a very miserable dungeon. It's a very long dungeon. I can't wait to be here for a very long time.
We are lampshading the fact that we've discovered a more efficient way of destroying this dungeon.
So he's doing Seabass strats, eh?
Yes, totally.
So, did you know, Ryan, that
Did I know?
Link is a construction worker?
I only
He
knew
is
that because I
authorized-
speedrun this game.
Yeah, he is authorized in the use of wrecking balls, but he's also authorized in the use of explosives, which is much better than a wrecking ball. More efficient. Because who uses
Yeah.
wrecking balls nowadays?
Basically, since when we talked about how broken bomb triggers are, you can just knock down these pillars by doing bomb triggers.
Yeah, so you're supposed to use a ball to around, but yeah, phooey to that.
Yeah, it makes this dungeon absurdly trivial and really short as well.
Unless you run out of bombs.
Yeah. Just make sure you
who would ever do that?
Most people who have run this game.
I think I would run out of bombs ever in a run.
Yeah.
I think I am.
Yeah, I don't know who's done that before.
I'm in a call with technically 3 of them.
Alright, so we just got good luck right there. Who wants to talk about that?
Oh, did you get first try Goomba? Oh, wow, you actually did.
So,
okay.
I mentioned earlier when we were talking about the naked super jump. We just did one there and hopped off a Goomba in order to get up the hill.
Yeah, so
But
you need that Goomba to move to the right, which is a 25% chance. So you got it first try.
And now we're bombing a bird. You know, eagles are an endangered species.
So yeah, since
what you're doing.
yeah, I'll show you guys something cool in the 100% for this fight, but
that's a lot cooler.
You gonna do the
Yep.
dance?
Yep. And yeah, so trivial boss pretty much.
Yeah, so we just turned a like a 10-minute dungeon into a 2.5-minute dungeon from all those tricks combined. So coming up is so now we're going to be on our way to Turtle Rock, the last dungeon, and what I'm going to be doing right here is if I open the save menu as I'm falling down, then I actually gain control, so I can avoid falling down that pit. I didn't explain that the first time when I was escaping Dungeon 6, but
yeah, doing the Jesus jumps.
Yeah.
The first Jesus jump, he did the same thing where you save and quit as you jump off a ledge, and yeah, you gain control of Link in the air, and if you don't do that, you lose like 2 minutes having to climb back over here. So
now
very
here's
important
the
that you do
real
that.
question. Is Mchan a good person?
Get your donations in. Save the girl or don't save the girl. I'm kidding. I've seen Mchan save her once.
Yeah, and I PB'd with that before.
I can't believe that Mchan would leave a poor defenseless girl up there all alone to be eaten by monsters.
I mean, he already just took his girlfriend on a Valentine's date, so
you're right.
He's taken, man.
What would the girlfriend think, though? Just abandoning a lady? Does chivalry not exist anymore?
It depends if she's a jealous type or not.
Oh man.
Okay.
That's dangerous. That's a dangerous line of question.
So you lose like 50 seconds if you actually do save her. She'll confess to you. Terran ruins the moment like all dads do, and then the owl talks to you because why not?
Exactly. So yeah, definitely don't save her because it loses like I don't know, at least 3/4 of a minute.
Although I did get a PB where I actually did save her one time before.
You also won a race where you did it. So the first time I saw you do a run ever. The summer tournament.
I don't remember that, but
Ah yes, you've completely blanked it out of your memory.
no, I legit don't.
Wait,
remember
unless
that.
Unless I'm misremembering. You played in English, right?
Oh, that was it.
That was Glyph. Oh my god! Whoops.
Oops.
My bad.
I
My bad.
remember that because I had to make sure that race was valid.
Glyph, you troll, dude.
I hate him.
My bad.
So we're about to do Bookshot again here. Hopefully, if I line myself up correctly, there we go.
Yeah, so it's a 2-pixel window to clip through this key block. If you don't have a key. And I guess the speed from the bookshot is what makes you clip.
I just slip
I have no
right
idea why it doesn't work if you don't bookshot particularly.
through. Now here's Little Mac. Now here's the easiest way to deal with Little Mac. Arrow.
Just like Smash.
I'm not wrong, am I?
Nope. So yeah, if you mess up that fight really badly, he can actually like hit you with a hook and like
Send
knock
you all
you
the
back
way
to the
back.
start
Yeah,
of the
there's a
dungeon.
he'll do like a tornado punch and sends you back to the beginning of the dungeon. It sucks.
So here's the thing, too. He'll hit you with a straight before that and stun you, so he can't miss with them.
Exactly. It's pretty funny. I've seen him miss like. Oh, there was someone I was watching where it happened to miss. I don't know how or why.
I think that might have been me. Who knows?
Possibly. I was like, wait, that's possible.
Thank God it is.
All right, so getting this key from shooting this eye with the arrow.
How could
And
you? That,
looks
that
like
statue did nothing. You shot it right in its eyeless now.
Looks like Mchan has good resources, so it didn't need to grab the bombs or anything from the extra room.
Yep, don't need it.
And here's Hothead. Not
Saving
Hothead.
time. Cue ball.
That's the word.
So
Yeah.
we skipped in
Wor-
dungeon
wor-
4
worst
and now
boss
we
in the
want
game.
this revenge. Yeah, fortunately you can stun lock him. By
Just like
because he
you
always
can in
changes
Dungeon
direction
4.
when you hit him.
Link's Awakening Switch has taught me to hate that boss.
It's
Yeah,
not
it looks
that
awful in that
bad.
game actually. So the Roomba room, as we say.
There's in that room there's 26 different combinations in order to go through that room, and they're all the same speed.
Yep.
Well, yeah, the Roomba doesn't accelerate.
Yeah, it's just the time you save is just how close you can get to the chest when it ends. Since you can move during it by jumping.
Okay.
All right, so Hothead.
This is Hothead. This is probably the worst boss in the game for different reasons.
Okay.
One of the most annoying. It's all those attacks that miss by like a pixel, like, oh, it's so annoying when it happens.
Is it really bad of me to think that Mchan was gonna get hit right there while he jumped?
I was really afraid of that too.
My heart
Why did
actually, my heart stopped for a moment. Wang boys.
Put it away. It's inappropriate.
This is rolling deep. There's a lot of degen stuff that goes down.
Alright, fair enough. Pull your dick out.
User
I don't care.
Oh.
Can't pull it out in a GDQ though, like someone did recently.
Alright, so now, surprise, we're almost done with the game. All we have to go do is fight the final boss. But the biggest sequence break of all, contrary to everything that we've said, is the fact that in order to get through into the egg, we need to get the ocarina and listen to Marin play a song. So that way we can learn the song and then play it on our 8 instruments. And then once we get inside of the egg, we were supposed to go through this long, convoluted trading sequence in order to figure out the correct path. Nuts to that.
Yeah, to hell with that.
Hate it. Don't want to have anything to do with it.
Alright, let's listen to some music, shall we?
All rise for the national anthem.
Okay, so the first thing to talk about here, there's a lot of things to talk about coming up. First off, the egg puzzle. It is always the same as long as you don't read the book. And then the second part is we're going to be doing something called RNG manipulation on the second phase of the nightmare fights. Would you guys like to talk about that?
Yeah, it's called Aghanim Manip.
Yeah, so as you saw in the Link to the Past race just now, that Aghanim is pure RNG, but we manipulate in this game.
It's a little bit worse in this game than it is in Link to the Past, because at least eventually you're guaranteed to get a blue ball. You have no such safety in this one. You could just shoot out
Yeah, if you
javelins
miss the
forever.
If you miss him, and if you can sometimes just get like 14 blue balls in a row or something.
It's awful. So first of all, we do a bomb trigger going into this fight, which means that we're not going to have any music. But that's good because music rolls RNG.
Yep.
And then we, stun the blob into the wall, and then make sure he dies on our sword. Now we're going to specific positions in order to get Aghanim to shoot out energy balls every time.
Yeah, assuming you're doing the Vlak manip, so either got to be standing against the wall or 1 pixel away from the wall, depending on the positions you get.
So close.
And based on that sound.
Yeah. It's like you're 2 pixels away.
So now it's 50-50.
50-50. Will I get a blue ball or not a blue ball? Per time.
Okay, one's not bad.
Okay, so you got 1 extra. Yeah, so each blue ball you get loses about 8 seconds, or like 7.5. So
then here's Moldorm again, but this time we can just lock him in place and just slash him a lot until he dies.
Yep. Since we have no upgrades in this category, it takes he has 16 health, so do 1 spin slash and 14 regular slashes to kill him.
And then here's Ganon, where it's a lot easier to kill him here.
Than in A Link to the Past.
And then that was the God of the Pit.
Shadow Lemo. And now for Shadow something. It was just eyes.
And now this is
Death Eye, Deathhole, depending on who you ask.
Take 16 arrows to kill him. You can get about 4 or 5 in per. 3 to 5 in per. I think. Up to 5.
Yeah, so ideally you want to get like 4 per cycle, which that was really fast. That RNG was nuts.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright, GG,
and
Mchan.
time.
Yeah, so I'm guessing it was about a 57 flat.
5701.
5701. Not
close.
sub 57. Run it back.
Run it back.
Run it back.
Bopped my first PB narrowly. That one.
I'm sorry, Black. I failed to match you. The last time this was at Rollin Deep Marathon, Vlak got a 54.50, and unfortunately I failed to match it. Had a pretty rough. I had a pretty rough beginning, but as soon as I got the run going past that, the rest of the run started to go somewhat well, and with a few things here and there. Aside from that, I think this was still a pretty alright run.
Yeah, I'd say so too.
If you want more LADX or Link's Awakening in general, tomorrow morning, Ryan's going to be running 100%, and I'm really excited to see that. And then, right after that, I'll be running the superior version of Link's Awakening. So.
That's something a heathen.
Oh. I don't know about that, man.
Please
Mchan
note that the words Mchan says are not endorsed by anyone in the community. They are his own opinions.
I'm about to kick
the Link's Awakening speedrunning Discord has no opinion on the matter whatsoever.
Also, if anyone's interested in this game to run, then yeah, there is a Discord, just like almost every other game on the SRC page. So it is up there. Very friendly community, a lot of welcoming people, and there's a good amount of people that are really helpful and like responsive for anything that you need when learning the game.
So yeah, unfortunately, because we did die at the very beginning, our wife does not become a bird. I mean, she's dead. Congratulations, Mchan. You left her to die.
Hopefully Ryan can hopefully do her justice.
Yeah. Well, I'll have a deathless run, don't worry.
Yeah. I mean, you should. It's 100%. No one dies 100%.
Exactly.
Right?
Such a safe category.
Just do what I do.
Yeah.
Do any percent. It's easy. If you want your wife to be safe, go do a 2-minute category.
Well, yeah, you didn't do that recently for MagFest.
Yeah.
Alright, well, I guess I'm attempt to sleep,
Yeah, me too.
so...
Sleep.
Alright, so any closing words before we all dip?
Well, thank you guys for hanging out with me, and I am looking forward to hanging out with you guys again for Ryan's run tomorrow morning.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'll see you guys in a few hours, so... Rolling out.
Go enjoy Majora's Mask. And please, take 8 hours. Please?
Also, get some water, everybody.
Yeah.
Stay hydrated.